Iguaran making space. The target man up front, Valderrama. Now they've got men to left and right here, Colombia. The first shot of the game comes in and it's a tame one.
Well, that was a typical Colombian build-up.
Now the target man for the Israelis, and look at Higuita there, way out of his goal, 40-50 yards. Well, we've said before, Higuita plays like a sweeper at times. That's enough to give the managers grey hairs, I should think, Tom.
Well, the managers told him to do that, Phil. I mean, modern-day goalkeepers now, I mean, with defences pushing out and leaving a lot of space behind the defence, they've got to come out and sweep up. They've virtually got to think like an outfield player.
Of course, the other influential figure alongside Valderrama in the midfield. And the Colombians beginning to put together some fluent football here. They may be all well. They had two central defenders well back, but that's the first yellow card of the evening. Valderrama wants to take the free kick quickly. And in fact, Mr. Valtro says fine.
Yeah, he let it go. That was quite surprising, really. That's a referee's how can I put it, reading of the game. If a team wants to play a quick free kick, a lot of referees let them do it and get on with it. Another referee will keep it there and hold the game up for the next kind of 2 or 3 minutes.
Well, it all got a bit hectic there, but Valderrama exercised his option.
Little 1-2s in the centre midfield, and they're packing in there, the Israelis. You know, they're just leaving one player forward and they'll hit him on the break and away they'll go.
Now a strong surging run from midfield, and only the final ball was lacking. Not afraid to take men on. And there's no question about this Israeli team's fitness. They've got a whole host of coaches who've travelled with them on the bench, and physical fitness is very much one of the positives in the Belgian Premier Division, plays for Standard Liège. So those are the two players that Israel really have, who they're hoping will be able to at least fire one away goal for them this evening. Well, at the moment, Don, the Colombians only have to string 2 or 3 passes together and the roof nearly lifts off the new stadium here.
Yeah, the crowd go wild, especially when Valderrama's on the ball. They respond to this individual kind of cleverness and the little flicks with the outside the foot, the crowd.
Long range effort comes in and it's 1-0 to Colombia again.
I mean, obviously, you don't like to see good players leave your country, but it does help in experience.
Now a real chance for Colombia in the box. Playot says the referee. Shot deflected. Colombia appealing for a penalty. I think the referee's decision was exactly the right one there. Monsieur Valtro has seen it all before. And the first real chance over.
Yeah, it was a lovely little clever ball into the box, but he never really had control of it.
And quite rightly the referee refusing to signal a foul, but at the moment the Israelis are having to take in some pressure, and I think that's the 4th shot from about that distance we've seen whistling by. If they get any closer, Mr. Ginsberg might have to be an unmistakable figure of the Colombian playmaker, and he looks so well with Iguaran. Real save of the evening from Ginsberg, and he was equal to it.
That was a hell of a good shot. I love the little kind of combination of about 3 or 4 passes before the shot went on, but this one was definitely on the target, and a good save in the top left-hand corner.
Yes, no doubt about that one. That was on its way into the top left-hand corner, and a fine save from the Israeli number 1. So once again here, does well.
Keeper did very well, got across.
And they've lost possession. Now Colombia on the break. Iguaran in all sorts of space here. Iguaran one-on-one, goes for the shot, too close to the keeper. Not not afraid to carry the ball forward and on the trusty left foot.
Well, it was the first time the Israelis really got you can really get a powerful shot in. I mean, what's it? Must be around about 35 yards away.
It's number 4, the defender, and that one was going inside the post. Second tremendous save from Ginsberg in the last 5 minutes. Once again, the Colombians really now beginning to find the range, Don.
Well, that was a nice swing, a power and swing in that shot. Hit it well, going away from the keeper. Ginsberg got...
This is Redding, Valderrama, a little bit too ambitious. Now this is good play by the Israeli winger, the number 11, Eli Ohana. He's the man we told you about at the top of the box. Now keeper under pressure, punches one-handed, turns straight back first time, and it's high and wide.
Yes, he could have done with a little bit more height on that punch and a little bit more distance.
Well, here once again we see the punch from the corner, and that shot way off target. If anything, I think the Colombians are getting caught up rather in the...
Their first half, yes. Yes, they'll go in quite happy.
Every single second that ticks away here a bonus for the Israeli side with their home leg to come. Now here they are on the break through Rosenthal. The tall lanky striker is pulled back. And that's a foul against Hoyos. Obstruction against the Colombians. And Colombia once again, inevitably I suppose, Valderrama. Now there it is, the final action of the first half. Monsieur Valtro then brings to a conclusion the first 45 minutes here. It's Colombia with all the pressure. It's a scoreline, however, that will please the Israelis more than it will please the Colombian manager Francisco Maturana, who will have some harsh words in the half-time dressing room, I should think, Dom. And the score there, Colombia 0, Israel 0. We'll be back after this short break and we'll go through the highlights of that first free kick. Now here he is to make here perhaps his first meaningful contribution to the game. Not with great conviction, the clearance from Israel, and they haven't got it very far. Iguaran dummies, goes round the fullback. Cross into the near post. Can the Israel get it away behind? And the first corner, the second half beginning really in much the way the first...
Iguarani, I think, is the danger. I mean, if he can go past the Israeli right back and get some of those crosses in with his left foot, he could create something for them.
No doubt about it. Iguaran has been the revitalising factor in Colombian football in the... By some tough Colombian tackling. The back four for Colombia has been rock solid, certainly so far in the first 48 minutes. Here's Galliano now, and there, that long-legged stride that Don was talking about. The cross comes in, shot from Iguaran, and it's away, and the Israeli defence survives, but that's the closest we've come to a goal.
Gee, well, he did well there. I mean, with his big long legs, he went past the fullback, pulled the ball across, and it was very quick. I don't know who stopped this shot here.
And it's off the defender. Well, it may have been off the chest, it may have been off the elbow.
Yeah, hit him.
No danger of...
Now, they're not going to give anything away over in Colombia. But, you know, will they have enough to win it in Tel Aviv?
Well, we shall see. Plenty of football left in this one. Iguaran with the cross. Colombia once again from midfield trying to thread it through. On Screen Sport, we're in Barranquilla for this World Cup playoff, the first of two legs. Colombia in the red against Israel. The score 0-0. And we're just about 7 minutes into the second half. Galliano once again taking on three Israeli defenders. And from the angle leaving himself too much to do with the cross. Thought they had one in the first half, but Monsieur Valtro, who's really had a superb game, underlying his status as one of the game's best referees, would have none of it. And it's Colombia on the far touchline. Hoyos waltzes round the Israeli defender and then wastefully gives the ball away. The game not being played at the pace of the first half at the moment, Don?
No, I think that's... I mean, it was all, you know, one way, and I've got a feeling that, you know, the pace always settles down in the second half of football.
Now Israel just looking as if they might get a scoring opportunity there.
Yeah, he was offside.
And it was Eli.
He'd just be the fellow to prize it open.
Well, they call him the Ruud Gullit of South America. I seem to remember Gullit himself having a very quiet start to the European Championships, of course, for the Netherlands last summer, and then it all came good in the final. So perhaps Valderrama saving himself here. As the keeper's out to block, not sure where the ball had gone for a second. Ginsberg there. The Colombian force wide from the angle, unable to turn it back in.
That was a nice through ball. It was a nice actor. I would think they're going to stabilise that right side. The boy looks as though he's got a problem with his right leg, with that coming off, but this boy's going to play over on the right side.
Yes, he's slotting in to bolster that.
To get on the end of those.
Certainly looking as if he might be the trump card here in the second half.
So that was a clever little ball of Valderrama. And he just lifted it over the defenders' heads.
Once again, in the second half here, we played 17 minutes in Barranquilla, and I can't recall Higuita yet having a ball to field inside his own penalty area. It's a long shot which is going to trouble nobody, but the ball boy is back behind Higuita's goal, and one of the Colombians there just receiving attention to, looks like the right knee, and in fact it's Higuaran in delivering that last cross on the left flank. Perhaps this is their best route to goal. Wilson Perez coming forward. Still the Colombians getting Perez eventually with a right foot volley from just outside the box. If he'd kept that one down, that might have been interesting. See it here as the Israelis really failed to get a tackle in.
Yeah, he could have waited for it to come down a little bit more, I think. He could have really did it closer to the floor.
Fullback Nacional of Medellin. Well, that was an intelligent dummy, but it did nothing but leave the ball for Higuita. And look at this from the Colombian keeper. Oh, well, this is quite incredible.
Well, that's I mean, I've never seen anything like that. That is truly
incredible. Amazing. And it's earned the Israeli a yellow card. We were talking about Higuita's unorthodox style. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like that in international football.
That's pure confidence. I mean,
had the ball broken back to the number 11 there, any Israeli player surely would have had a free shot at goal.
He must be the best player on the five-a-side they played in training. I mean, just to set off like that in the middle of a game, to set off...
Launches on a 40-yard mazy dribble to the halfway line. One of the Israeli defenders gets booked for having the temerity to bring him down. Now, this is Galliano. That's a good ball. Galliano with a chance, it's there! Galliano has done it! Galliano, the substitute, has come off the bench and opened the scoring for Colombia. It's Colombia 1, Israel 0.
Well, he's done that about twice. Is if he can't get kind of outside the fullback, he's come inside, played it in like he's played it there, got on the end of the return, and this time he's kept his composure and just slid past Ginsberg inside the near post. But he's played it in there and kept on his run.
Simple 1-2 on the edge of the box, unlocks the Israeli defence. Ginsberg is beaten at last through the defender's legs. And Galliano tucks it inside the near post. Well, we see it here once again in the build-up, Don. I think he's a very difficult player to knock off the ball.
Yeah, well, he's got that terrific stride, and obviously if he puts his arms out, you can't get near him. I mean, I would think each arm's about 6 foot long, so I mean, if he puts those out, you can't get round there and tackle him.
Well, there we are, the hero of the hour in Barranquilla. 28 minutes gone in the second half. Colombia find the net, the goal that their pressure deserves, and the Israelis are behind. Galliano, clearly the inspiration that was needed from Maturana. He brought him on at the start of the second half. Nearly created a goal for Higuaran with his first telling run down the right wing. It takes a 1-2 through the heart of the Israeli defence, tucks the ball inside the post from 8 yards. Colombia are ahead, and that's what the home fans think of it.
Yeah, well, that's probably, I would think in most modern football now, there's more goals scored in the last kind of 15 minutes of a football match than ever before.
It's a defender on for Rosenthal, so the Israelis look very much as if they're going to defend in depth for these final 15 minutes. Well, defend in depth is what they've done virtually for the whole game, but now any strike potential from them has been virtually eliminated with that substitution. Just Ohana.
Coach would like another goal.
They get one here. It reaches Iguaran on the edge of the box, goes for the chip, flying header, denied. Israel defending well. They've been solid in the air. Wilson Perez, did he think about a shot there? Well, in the end it's for Iguaran to chase. Wilson Perez once again, aerial ball to the edge of the Israeli box. They've got 7-8 men back in front of Bonnie Ginsberg. Colombia have to be patient in the build-up. Don't panic. Surely the message from the bench has to be, get it out to this near touchline. Now the number 4 breaking into the box. Turns it back, and that's too high for Iguaran. The number 4 there, Escobar, on the burst. That's what the bench think of it. His way to the attack. The Colombians flooding forward once again, the red and blue rampant here as they go for a second against Israel. They had 5 minutes in which to find it. Will this be it? That one was dipping just too high, and I think Ginsberg had it covered.
But there's a few tired legs in that Israeli defence. You know, there's little openings, and they're not getting as tight as they were, and they're not closing things down as they were.
Yes, they're certainly looking a little leaden-footed here inside the final 5 minutes. And they were caught rather back on their heels there.
Yeah, they'll be glad when that final whistle comes.
The Oceania group, in which they participate for political reasons. And it's a long road to Italy, and it's by no means over yet. Shot in the dying seconds, comes in, a good save by Ginsberg. Goes to his right, and good handling from the keeper. See it again.
He's looked a very competent keeper tonight, Ginsberg.
It was curling away, but too close to Bonnie Ginsberg. And we're coming up. We've played very tired indeed now. There's not too much movement around the pitch. That is indeed the final whistle. There it is. Monsieur Valtro brings to a conclusion the first of 2 legs here in Barranquilla. The final score, Colombia 1, Israel 0. 28 minutes into the second half. The only goal of the game scored by Galliano, the substitute who came off the bench, started the second half, and he it was who finally found a way through this rugged Israeli defence. It's all to play for then in the second leg. Don't forget the Screen Sport cameras will be there live to bring you that game in full. It's the 30th of October, the date for your diaries. Israel against Colombia, 15:55, 5-4 GMT. We'll bring you the return leg here, but the final score from Barranquilla, from myself and Don Howe, we'll leave you once again with that winning goal as Colombia beat Israel by 1-0.